What about the township economy? Is there any traction
Yeah, I
there?
think, yeah, maybe come in there. So regarding the township economy, I think it touches a lot with financial inclusion. And I think the biggest, I would say, impediment at the moment remains one, there's obviously the trust deficit, where we really need to drive consumer education around crypto assets, both for this market and the township economy. But then most importantly, I think we obviously have a very cash-centric economy. I think we were chatting with Carol regarding the numbers. I think we've got about 173 billion rand in cash in circulation in South Africa at the moment. But here's the trick. It takes about 30 billion rand to maintain that. This is obviously maintaining things like cash in transit, security, replenishment, ATM maintenance, so all of these things. So I think for me, that's generally at the moment, the key thing is the ability of taking Binance Pay. You're able to partner with the likes of Money Badger. You're able to have access to that market. But then most importantly, the question obviously is, how do you then convert the cash economy? And, and I think there's quite a few service providers at the moment who are doing this, where they're able to effectively integrate into, payment systems. And then ultimately take responsibility for the cash component as well, which is a very, at the moment, cash is still king in South Africa. I think no one can deny that. And the question is not to, I think we don't see buying crypto assets as an either or, but it's finding a way of making the two interoperable, which is what's going to work for us.
So what are you doing about it at Binance?
So
kick it off.
Yeah, so at the moment, we've obviously got Binance Pay. So at the moment, our biggest strategic partnership in this respect are the likes of Money Badger. And at the moment, we still are exploring opportunities in building partnerships in that market, just to ensure that, because that's financial inclusion. I think having the ability to, spend crypto assets and buy a coffee at Starbucks or, buy a nice jacket at Hydraulics, that's great. But that's not really, in a South African context, it's not the real economy. We want to see people have the ability of transacting into, from a peer-to-peer perspective, sending one another crypto assets, be it 100 Rand, be it 2,000 Rand. And, I think for me, the gap remains, that partnership that will effectively assist in taking it from cash and bringing it into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So a good tip, I guess, would be download the app, put a couple of 100 Rand in it and try it and spend it, right? And then replenish it and maybe buy some Bitcoin, because you can do all of that, right?
And on that, like if you need help in terms of navigating the app, we also have Binance Academy. And to Sam's point about this education and inclusion. So we have Binance Academy, which is free. In fact, we even have initiatives that we pay you a crypto to complete these courses. And it goes from intermediary level, from novice level to intermediary level to expert level in terms of describing what is blockchain, what is a Bitcoin, what is fiat channels, what is on-ramp, what is off-ramp, all the way to future trading, derivatives, etc. And that's a free course that we provide. And we also encourage people to make use of these resources. We come into partnerships with various universities. We like the work that you do. What GIBS has kindly hosted us. And this is where you kind of get that critical mass so that you can get adoption first, because there's a relationship between adoption and inclusion. You need to get to a certain level of adoption to start increasing that inclusion. And we're trying to find, like I said, strategic partners that can help us get into those township levels and make sense, because we're not the first people. And a lot of the stuff that we're experiencing, it's not new. Like the traditional financial world already went through these things. So trying to get taxi operators to leave the cash standard and jump onto the digital era, you have those conversations and you tell us what happens. It's not new problems, but we obviously need to find innovative ways of understanding that market and seeing where those synergies and those intersections actually lie. And what a good time to be alive, because now there's a new technology, there's a new kid on the block, and we might find a solution now. We can really integrate and find the solution that makes this travel, this freedom of money, which is our philosophy at Binance, a reality, and how we can connect borders, especially the African continent. You have the African Continental Free Trade Treaty, you have the PASA network. There's so many things that we can do so expansively, and South Africa have always been the genesis of those things, or a key player in those economies. And this is just the next step to say, there's the technology, here's the new concepts, how do we make this work?